and Curly Girl Support Group. Welcome to the Curly Hair Q&A show. I'm your host, Ken Nichols, and I'm here with Melanie Nichols. She is the founder of the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida. It's one of the top curly hair salons in the country, and Melanie is one of the top curl and hair color experts anywhere in the world. She is also the founder of the Raw Curls brand of natural and organic curly hair products that can be found at rawhairorganics.com. And this is episode number 200 this week. It's an anniversary
You
special.
didn't remind me that it's 200
I
today.
got a little tied up with technical
I would have
issues
brought
here.
that champagne.
Oh, that's right. And we have an extra bottle.
And I left it all at the salon.
And that's okay. We'll celebrate next week. So it's episode number 200 if you've been following along, and that's just 200 of the weekly shows. And that's just from when we started actually counting them. So if you include the weekly shows like this, and you include all the daily shows that we did, that we're going to start doing again at the first of the year. I think we talked about that already. We're going to start the daily shows, and we're well over 400. So that's a
Really?
lot.
Wow.
There's a lot.
Yeah, but it's been, what, 3.5 years now?
Yeah, or 4, something like that. A lot.
It would have been,
Yeah.
I thought we did that would have been in March. So, yeah, it was like 3.5 years.
Yeah. So, yeah. So,
Wow,
we've done a lot.
200.
Yeah, we've done a lot of episodes. So if you're new here tonight to the show, we are the internet's only weekly curly hair Q&A show that is run by industry experts answering your curly hair questions. And you can find us live streaming every week on Facebook in the Curly Girls support group. You have to join. That's a private group of almost 80,000 curly girls. You can join that group and watch it live. You can also watch it on Facebook live streaming in the Diva Curl user support group. Same thing, private group. I don't know. There's probably 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,000 curly-haired women in there, too. You can watch it live tonight. So hi, you guys. You can also watch it on the Curly Hair Q&A Show YouTube channel. That is your best user experience as far as video and sound and whatever. And we've started monitoring questions there as well, so you can start. Eventually, we'd really like to make that our main platform for the video show live. And in 2021, we're going to be doing some other things as well. So we'd really like to push more people to that, just because it's, from a technical standpoint, it's easier for us, and it's just a better user experience, and it's a better experience for us on our end here too. And lastly, but not least, you can watch us live stream on Instagram at Raw Curls. That is the Raw Curls Instagram account. And for fun, if you want to take a look, if you've never been there, take a look at that and follow that. I'd highly encourage you, because Melanie, over the last couple of months, probably the last 2 months, has been really knocking it out of the park with a lot of before and after pics of some transformations that have been coming through. And we're actually going to, if you're watching this on live stream, we're actually going to show you one tonight that happened
I'm trying
on Saturday.
to be a good girl.
And post, right?
It's
Before and afters.
hard with all the hours that I work and all the clients that I see to get all the posting and the videos in there as well. But I am trying.
Yeah, anybody that's a licensed hairstylist knows is it's really hard to, not only to take the before and afters, but if you're in a busy salon like Melanie is, it's hard to find the time, and especially this time of year, because you're trying to jam everybody in for the holidays, and it's just hard. But it's clearly worth it. We're going to show you one tonight that's really cool.
Or I even take the pictures. Sometimes I forget the before, or I forget the after, or I take the pictures and I don't get to post them. Like I have one sitting on my phone I need to post. It's not a curly one, but it was a really beautiful color. So I want to
Yeah.
Get around to posting that one.
Yeah.
I get backlogged.
Get backlogged. Can't wait to see it. We are also an award-winning podcast. We won an award in 2019 for number 2. We're not number 1. Maybe this year we will be. I haven't
Who
seen the awards
decides
come out
that?
yet. Some group of hair and beauty industry people.
Well, there are
Um,
some other podcasts out there now, so we have more competition.
there are,
Mm.
they are, but we're the long-standing one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh boy! But if you want to listen to our podcast or any of our previous podcasts, they are all on our channel as well, and you can find that on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Podcast Addict, and SoundCloud. Those any of those platforms or wherever you consume your podcasts, just or tell your smart speaker to play the Curly Hair Q&A show. I usually tell it to play the most current episode, so that's good.
Darn, I just thought of something. I brought my tablet, and I should have had Eric look at it. We've been having some issues, and I have it right with me. Darn,
that sucks.
Ah.
Well, yeah, too bad because he's gone already. So anyway, so thanks for joining us tonight. So
Yes.
give me just a minute here, and Melanie can tell you a little bit about her week and a fun fact, and I'm going to play around a little bit in a couple of our streams to get them up so I can make sure and get all the questions this week. As you guys know, who were here 2 weeks ago, we Facebook changed the platform around, and it made it really difficult for us to go through questions or whatever. So, what you could do, Melanie, is you could tell us about what you were doing last week Monday, and why we didn't do a show.
Yes, we missed you guys last Monday. Sorry about that. First of all, I want to show everybody this is the best ugly Christmas sweater ever for me because it says freeze with the blow dryer. I love it. Anyway, so today was a little chilly. I got to bring out my sweater, and I'm having fun running around town in it. So last weekend we were doing some filming, and it was exciting. I'm not gonna.
No, we can't tell
I'm
too
not gonna
much
give
yet.
details. We were just filming some stuff that I was doing. So that was really exciting. It's a project that we've tried to work on for over 2 years now. And so we finally got it done, and it was awesome, I think.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, and thank you to two live models that we had, Dana and Jessica, for coming and participating in the filming. And it's going to be we have so many exciting things that are coming for 2021. I had to think. I can't even think of what year it is. The whole year's gone by, and it's just a blur. 2021. So anyway, we'll keep you posted as we get closer and have more details.
Yeah, we have some really neat stuff coming up, and we'd actually hinted about some of it, and where I had mentioned a few months ago that about Melanie trying to find the time to make herself available for you guys for I guess consultations and not only that, but maybe some real professional training. I've seen some other ones out there by stylists, and I think especially in the curly hair world, it's so specific that having someone like Melanie, who's a curly hair expert, doing real curly hair walkthroughs at her salon and showing you guys how to do it all is going to be really, really cool. But that's just the beginning. That's not even the.
Yeah, so we had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you did as well. Although that's not true. Actually, fun fact, the day was nice, and it was a beautiful, it was beautiful weather, restful and all that. But the food, Ken decided not to cook at the last minute, and we ordered our turkey dinner from Publix. And the turkey was so weird. That's what I've just been telling people. It was like a loaf. It looked like a ham to me, like a little half of a ham. So it was kind of a pressed boar's head turkey meat loaf. I don't know what they use in the deli, probably to slice for sandwiches, but it was really salty, so I didn't love it. Ken's turkey's much better, and so that was a little disappointing, but everything else was good. So I ate mostly sweet potatoes and a Brussels sprout recipe that we had. So yay! But anyway, what else? Salon. So we had some exciting things going on all week, of course. Still some people sick. It's weird. We're having, lots of cancellations, people out sick. My little Isaiah was supposed to come in. He was sick last time for his appointment and he's still sick. So that was sad because we have his adorable do not touch my no you can't touch my curls t-shirt ready for and waiting for him. So I was really excited waiting to get a picture of that, and we'll have to uh, postpone. So as soon as they are able to come in, I will get pictures of that for you. Did some great transformations. I hope you enjoyed pictures and videos that I posted, like Ken was seeing, and we're, I think, going to get into some of that now. And then it was exciting. Oh, we had the launch of the deep conditioning mask. So we're, I think, sold out. Are we sold out?
Yes, but we're making some now, and we should have that available again within the next couple of days at most. So
Yep.
so that's cool. It sold out way faster than I expected.
Oh,
It just to give you an
make
idea
some
how
more because it's going to keep selling.
yeah.
It is awesome.
Yeah, it literally the sale went live midnight Eastern time. Thanksgiving night, leading into Black Friday, like 12:01 a.m. And I wanted to make sure everything was set up, so I stayed up and I watched it, watched it all play out, and then I just happened to, check it. I was just gonna get ready for bed and whatever, and I checked it at 12:07, and at 12:07 we were down to 7 bottles.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh my God,
Yikes.
do I go to bed? Yikes, exactly. So I'm like, I already had, I was already prepared to, to start making more anyway. So I mean, I knew it was going to happen. So we did and whatever, and they're little by little going, out. So, yeah. So bear with me one more second. I've got to go out and talk to Helen again. We're just having a little technical.
Okay. So a little bit more about the Rock Curls Deep Conditioning Mask. It is awesome. I'm so excited to finally share this with you guys. This is another thing that's been on the back of one of my burners for a long time. So it is a very moisturizing but also strengthening conditioner. So it's going to help heal and moisturize your hair. Lots of super awesome ingredients with aloe and quinoa and silk and let's see what else is in there. There's so much. There's the ginseng, ginkgo biloba. Oh, that's just the orange. Okay, let's see what else. There's honey in here. Of course, the shea butter. There's a marshmallow extract. What am I forgetting? So, yes, lots of wonderful strengthening. There's some proteins and amino acids, and then the moisturizing agents to make your hair feel amazing and look amazing, nice and soft and shiny and healthy and frizz-free. So yes, it has been flying off the shelves, and I'm sorry if you didn't get yours yet, but more to come. So, ooh, we'll see what else Ken has going on here. I forgot to bring this with me. I realized as I was driving out here today. If you guys haven't seen it yet, so bummed that I bring with me because it's absolutely adorable. I know this doesn't have to do with curly hair, but there is a new wet brush for dogs. So it's a detangling brush and it's so cute. They only had 2 at the supply house, so I bought them both, and it's going to go with our raw paws kits. And they are absolutely adorable, these detangling brushes. You'll have to have one. Are we ready?
No.
What's going on?
Facebook again is giving us trouble.
Nice. Thanks, Facebook.
I tell you.
What are they doing?
I can't even tell you. But the way they're pushing. Hey, Helen, now it came up 16 minutes late.
Okay.
Yeah, it literally
just
showed up.
Are you just not seeing questions, or what's the
nothing?
Problem?
Not even the stream, but it's yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, you guys. Honest to God, I really apologize, but it's really, like I said, we said 2 weeks ago when we were having problems. See, now it disappeared again, Helen. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's $1.99. Oh my God! But I don't.
Well, that's last week's episode. No, that's tonight's. There's the pictures.
Yeah, but that's not me. That's not my stream. I mean, in other words, I can't find that on my.
What do you need? The questions? I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, bear with me. I'm going to try something else. Yeah, see, ever since, and I know most of you probably know this who are Facebook users, you know, that they changed that, they changed and made everybody switch to that new, that their new, I don't know, not platform, but, the new setup for it. And it's really making it miserable for people like us. So anyway, okay. So I think I got it. I think I had to actually log into a different account to actually
do you have some questions?
I don't know yet. I'm going to tell you. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to.
Isn't that what you were?
What's that?
Isn't that what you had brought up before we started?
No. Okay. All right. You ready for questions?
No.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah, I've been ready.
We'll get ready. Yeah. Hey, sorry, not our fault on this end. Just really. That's why I said I've saw, there's a number of people that I know that do the kind of same things that we do here, and a lot of them have been talking about completely abandoning Facebook's platform just because it's not, because of this kind of stuff here, whatever. I was just talking about somebody like last week that said forget it, and they went to Twitter and YouTube. They're doing it just clearly on their YouTube and Twitter. So anyway, Melanie, I use Raw Curls Wavy Swavy on my 2B 3A-ish curls, and I'm finding that with the colder weather, my scalp is getting dry. Any tips? I do clarify every so often with Malibu Sea Undo Goo. Any thoughts on that?
So yes, there's a couple things you can do. All of our products are very moisturizing, and they have ingredients in them that are going to be healing and soothing to the scalp as well. So a lot of times, we're not applying conditioner on the scalp, but if you're having a problem, I would recommend rubbing that into the scalp while you're, applying it in the shower, working it through your hair. Also rub it into your scalp. You can also apply the Shine Serum, which is, again, very, very healing to the skin. It healed Ken's scars. It's healed other clients of mine's scars. So that's a little bit harder to work with. You'd have to put a little bit on your finger and make sure you get down in there and rub it on your scalp. But again, that is definitely something you can do. But, an easy thing is just getting the conditioner down in there and rubbing it in.
Mm-hmm. And it is just a weather thing. It's just not a whole lot you can do about it other than that.
A lot of people, that's why I mention it, because a lot of people purposely stay off of the scalp. But in this situation and in, changing weather, if you're having dryness, go ahead and do that. Use it like a moisturizer, like you would on your face.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Melanie, as we embrace this colder weather, it's getting harder to leave the house with wet hair and wait for it to air dry. I was wondering if you have used something like a Norwex towel or any type of towel to dry your curls?
So what we typically recommend is using a flour sack towel, which we sell the Raw Curls flour sack towels. They're, nicely embroidered. But you can also use a microfiber towel or t-shirt or paper towels. Paper towels are my least favorite, but yes. So whether you choose to plop or just, squeeze the water out is how I normally teach people. I don't personally like to wrap my hair um, while it's drying, but that's up to you. It's an option. So, but typically we're using the flour sack or the microfiber, and then just after you apply all your products, then you flip your head over, squeeze any excess water out, and that will immediately help it to start, set and lock the curl and start to dry and dry quicker. And then, of course, I love to use the diffuser, the CIC Beauty diffuser is my favorite. We happen to have a salon with hooded dryers, so we, can sit people under there, which helps to dry the hair very quickly. If you can get one of these for your home if you want. You can get them quite cheaply, like $89, $100, or a countertop one is, I think, about 50, I don't know, $50 to $80 at Sally's. And so those come in handy. The people that have bought them from me love it because they do. They dry your hair in like 5 minutes and gently. It's like air drying it, but, with heat.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Couple of quick things. I don't know if you were talking about this beforehand, but a number of people have asked about the new deep conditioning mask with the biotin and the Raw Curls conditioner, so the original. And a lot of people have used for quite some time the original Raw Curls conditioner as their deep conditioner, and they want to know what's the difference and should they be using the deep conditioner and the conditioner if need be. Is there a significant difference between the two products?
There is, and I would say yes, now that we have a separate one. Before we didn't, and it's something that we've been working on, so it was not a problem, and it still is not a problem if you want to use the regular Raw Curls conditioner as your deep conditioning treatment. However, there is a difference, which I did just explain while you were running in and out of the room. And so I certainly would now recommend using the deep conditioning mask along with the regular Raw Curls conditioner because it's going to give you additional moisture, it's going to give you additional shine, it's going to give you additional strength to the hair. So, it has completely different ingredients.
Is that something good for the winter months in certain parts
Yes,
of the country?
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, I have a client who I just sold it to. Her hair has been challenging. It is longer than mine. It is very dry, very tingly. She uses a Dyson dryer, and I swear that makes it more tingly. And, her ends are very split, so it takes me forever to norm. And she doesn't like any product in it, so I'm not able to use the Raw Curls anti-frizz as a detangler. So I just experimented on Friday and I used the deep conditioning mask on her as, like a regular conditioner, and it was wonderful. So I told her she needs to buy that. And for her, I said, just use it as your conditioner because her hair is so long and it's just, it's compromised because it's just really long and she washes it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, it gets dry and tingly, and then she's whipping through with the Dyson on full, power. So, anyway, it gave her that extra bit of strength and moisture that she needed in her hair, and I was able to easily comb through it and dry it, which was wonderful. It saved me like a half an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Let's go to another question here. Hi, this is a very strange but very serious question. I've been sick for 3 solid weeks, very sick. During that time, I managed to shower but never brushed my curly hair. It is now matted to my head, and I don't know even how to begin to unmat it. Do you have any suggestions besides shaving it? And she gives us a picture. You guys won't see it, but she gives us a picture of her hair unmatted.
Ooh, gorgeous.
I know.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that's terrible. Well, unfortunately, it takes a lot of time and patience to detangle hair that has gotten matted, and especially it's so tight down to the root. You have to just put a lot of conditioner on it, anything that's going to give you a lot of slip. and then just slowly, I use different detangling brushes and combs and just work it little by little by little, trying to, get the tangles out as best as you can without damaging or breaking the hair. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of patience, and sometimes ultimately you end up having to cut. But, it's worth trying to, sit there and put all the conditioner on and, try to get it so that you can release that hair, at least get some out of it. So, you won't have to cut as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. For you guys listening on podcast and for those of you on Instagram, there's some things that that are pictures and things that obviously we can't show you, and I know before with Instagram we were able to because you were actually part of the stream through the software and whatever, and we're working to correct that. But there are some things occasionally that we'd like to show you, but we just can't. So we'll try to explain them for those of you, especially podcast listeners, so you don't feel like totally left out. Our Melanie, are you trying to get a question off of Instagram or no?
Yeah.
Melanie's trying to get a question off of Instagram right now. Can you read it or no?
I have a question in my back or my neck. I have these pimples. I tried to.
Bear with me till she's reading it to herself here. All right. Can you repeat it?
Oops. Well, I don't I don't really know if it has. It's more about having pimples on the back on their back. So I don't know if that's like product related. It can be, I mean, if you're using a lot of products with a lot of oils and things that build up on the hair can also build up on the skin. So it could, or an allergic reaction, any of those things, it could cause you to break out around the face, around the neck, or on the back, especially if you're not washing that off. So I don't know if that was the question, but I was just trying to read it a little bit.
Okay. All right. We're going to actually show some pictures for those of you watching the live stream. This week, Melanie actually had a number in the last 2 weeks, a number of really cool transformations. And
some the big hair one.
Yeah, some we've showed you, some we haven't. Some you'll see in the future, but not yet. But we're going to show you one that Melanie did on Saturday that came out just gorgeous. Helen, can you put that picture of that collage of pictures up on the screen? Can you do that? And there they are. Do you want to tell us about this and describe this and this client, new client, right, to the salon?
Yep, this is a new client, Nicole, and she came in, and actually we almost ended up rescheduling her appointment because she was a little bit late. So anyway, but I said, no, let's go ahead and, go forward with your haircut. So as you can see, she came in with more, I would say, like stringy curls, crunchy. She hadn't, I don't think, really spent a lot of time styling her hair that day. But anyway, her issue was that she has not felt comfortable wearing her hair down. She pulls it up all the time for work. So she wanted a style that she could wear down. And so we, discussed the length and, discussed the style about bringing it in, kind of, more tapered on the bottom. And then as you can see, just from doing the raw curls cut and just from using the raw curls products, her curls are absolutely gorgeous. They are those, I told her, I said, everyone's going to hate you because these are the curls that we all want. Not really, I'm exaggerating, but they are. I said, I do. I love those curls. They're big and bouncy and shiny. And honest to God, that was all I did. I know there were some questions that came up. But this girl, she was so happy with the results. Of course, she bought the whole kit, everything, even the diffuser. So, because I taught her how to do everything and educated her how to take care of her curls and how to style them. And because of those results, she was, absolutely sold on buying everything. So, but yeah, her hair, somebody was wondering if her hair was still wet. No, it's not. In fact, she definitely, let's talk about porosity. So she has low porosity hair, and that healthy low porosity hair takes forever to dry. So yes, it is completely dried, and I can guarantee that because my next client was waiting an extra 20 minutes while I was continuing to dry this hair, but I could see how pretty it was looking. So I asked her if she would just, be patient and wait, so I could get the after photos, and thank God I did. But it's just that her hair is now so hydrated and so moisturized, and so it looks shiny. It's not wet at all. It's completely dry and soft. We could have fluffed it out even more. She was another one that really likes big curls, but um, again, I was running a little bit behind. So
Yeah, it's super shiny.
yeah, it's super shiny. Yeah, so frizz-free, shiny, hydrated, and that's the difference that the Raw Curls cut and products can make in the hair. Of course,
Yeah.
she helped me by having absolutely gorgeous hair, but and someone else was asking about this. It will depend on your curl type. My curls will never look like that because I don't have that curl type.
Yeah.
So the cut and the products will help whatever curl type you have to look amazing, but
Yeah.
it going to depend on the curl type that you have. If you're just a barely wavy swavy, you're not going to get this.
Yeah, I saw lots of comments in the different groups where this collage of pictures came up, and I saw, which is great. I saw lots of people just loved it, and I did see a number of people say, that's the last straw. I'm booking a ticket, and I'm coming down. I'm coming down to Naples because I want this. If this is what, and it's really interesting, and it really goes back to how much you post and take before and afters and explain them, that people will say that's it. If this is what a Raw Curls cut, and the Raw Curls products combined is gonna give me, I'm coming. And I at one side of me wants to say, hooray, great, we'll see ya. And the other one is, I don't want you to I don't want you to have expectations of getting something if you don't, if your curls don't have the capability. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just like when people bring in pictures and they say, I want to look like this, and it's like, you're never going to look like that.
Yeah.
Like me, I want to look like Brad Pitt doesn't mean I'm gonna because I want to.
It's not going to happen. No. Yes, allegedly. We get those all the time, like the Jennifer Aniston, or, who doesn't want to look like these,
Right.
But anyway, that's why I said that, it will depend on your own curl pattern and what's happening in your hair. I mean, if your hair is totally fried and breaking off, reality is it's not going to look like this after one application. But her hair was healthy, and I do get great results, most of the time just in one application.
Yeah.
So I did clarify her, because she had been using. Actually, I'm going to tell you, she's been using very, cheap, quality, store-bought products, and so. We talked about that, and that's why too she wanted to, move forward with taking better care of her hair. But again, see the difference in the results.
Yeah.
So I forgot about that till we just started talking about. But yeah, she was using cheaper, low grade quality products, and so there you go. And as far as application, it's the same application I use and teach on everybody with my fingers. Applying from root to end. The gel, I use the medium Raw Curls gel on her, and then I did just show her on the very top how to get the extra lift with the Denman brush, which I have videos on doing that. You can do it with your fingers, but I like to just show people, if they feel like, it goes faster with the Denman brush. So I just did that through the top. It actually looked the same, it looked really good already, but I like to teach it as a little extra tip when people come in.
Yeah. Melanie, what are your thoughts on pre-poo? About pre-pooing your hair?
For certain hair types, it can be helpful. If you're in the type 4 hair curl types, it's going to soften that hair. So, help to start the process of moisturizing and softening. But, again, it's going to depend on your situation. Like if you have to clarify, then it's not going to be helpful because you're going to just remove what you did. So it's all going to depend on your hair type and your situation. But I'm not against it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't do it for myself, and I rarely do it in the
I was just going to ask that.
No, I've never done it on my hair.
Yeah.
Never.
Okay.
And I have only done it on a few clients that have that really, really like type 4 B, C hair.
That's really tight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Melanie, have you ever noticed any people that get hair loss or thinning hair when they start doing the curly girl method? I can see a lot more of my scalp, and I seem to have less hair on top, not enough to cover my whole head from the back when combed back. My sister has the same problem, and she's only 23. I'm 29.
Mm.
And her doctor prescribed her sulfate tablets. So I'm thinking, could it be all the sulfate-free products causing this?
Well, it can actually.
Really? I would have guessed no.
Really?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Why would you guess no?
Internal versus external. I don't know if I don't know if a lack of if I don't know if sulfate tablets internally.
Oh, I don't know about that. But she's
I don't get
asking
it.
if the
No.
sulfate-free products could be causing, part of the hair loss.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We've talked about that. We had Deshaun on the show talking about that.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
so definitely, the no poos, all the sulfate-free products now. That's why we are promoting you need to clarify. So periodically, get out the clarifier and use it because um, the reason that we started doing all the sulfate free is because the sulfates are harsher on the hair. They dry out the hair. They make it frizzy. That's why, these companies got away from using shampoos and they went to the no poos and the co-washing and all that stuff, which is, it can be good. It can be good for the curls because it's more gentle, it's more hydrating and moisturizing. But then there's also the downsides that you're not, completely cleansing the scalp and removing those dead skin cells and the oil buildup aren't even just our natural oils that build up in our hair, like on our skin. We're washing, we're exfoliating, we're doing all these things. So we also need to do that in our hair now sometimes because of using all these gentle products. So great for regular use in the hair because they're gentle and they're not stripping and they're hydrating and causing less frizz. But then periodically it is important to clarify and just give, start with a clean slate and remove everything and, just get all that buildup, even if it's just your natural oils and dead skin cells off of the scalp, because that could be a cause of some hair loss. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else I got for questions. Hold on a second. All right. Okay.
Do you have the pictures of the big hair lady?
Uh,
Everybody love that.
the one that doesn't want any product.
Yeah.
I don't know. Helen, if you have a moment, you could take a peek in the announcements in the Curly Girl support group and see if you can actually
That was fun.
find those.
Well, she loved her hair
Okay.
so much. It was like that was another new client, and I just got done with the dry cut portion and decided, that was all I was going to do on her.
Yeah.
And she loved it so much that she didn't even want me to shampoo and style her hair, which I, kind of wanted to do that and finish. But hey, it's the client's call. Ultimately, if they're happy, they're happy. What can I say? And, she felt like she had just washed her hair the night before. She loved it. The bigger, the better, and she could rock it. And so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I just saw it. Go down, go down.
Go other way down.
Nope,
That's up.
That's
up.
Going the wrong
That's
way.
up.
Wrong
That's
way.
up. Down. Down.
Oh, gosh.
Down. Down.
She's wearing green. Further. There she is. There she is. In the green.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, pick what pictures you want to see. You want to talk about.
Well, yeah. So show one of the other pictures. That was the before. Yeah, there's the after. Yeah, so that was just there. I like
There's
that
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was after, and I had been, going through the curls and cutting and running my fingers through and all that. But she didn't mind, and that's how it looked after. It was still fluffed up and somewhat defined. So we just left it. But the funny thing was then, yep, there's the befores. She had been cutting her hair herself. So had that other girl. She had never had a professional haircut. She had just been cutting it herself because these two have been disappointed with what they had received in the salons, unfortunately.
I get it.
That happens a lot.
I get it.
So yeah, but this was so funny. The end of the story about this woman is that she realized as she was checking out that she missed out on my fabulous head massage. So she asked if we could go back and just massage her head. And I was like, Okay, because I usually use the conditioner like while I'm massaging and doing their neck, and so we just did a dry massage. But again,
I'm gonna try that next time I get my hair cut.
Yeah. No.
All righty. So that's that.
Because Jessica gave her that great idea. Thanks, Jess.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. She swears she didn't.
She did. Right. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
All right. Melanie, when coloring your roots to cover grays and change color of your hair 2 levels lighter, what level of peroxide should you use? Will 10 volume cover the grays? I normally use 20 volume, but want to protect my hair, curls, and waves as much as possible. As much as possible, I'm 2B, 2C. Do you feel comfortable answering that?
2B, 2C. Well, okay, wait. Read the first part of it again.
Let me go back.
It was a little
choppy. Okay.
Confusing.
When coloring your roots to cover grays and change color of your hair 2 levels lighter, what level of peroxide should you use?
Okay, so stop. Okay. So that's the part that confused me because it doesn't make sense. If you have gray hair, you're not going to be changing it 2 levels lighter because when you have gray hair, there's no pigment in the hair. So that's where I got lost because that doesn't make sense. So if you are making your hair 2 levels lighter, then you definitely have to use 20 volume developer because you need that lift. So whatever, I don't know what's going on with this person and the question is confusing, but that's the clarification. So anytime you need lift and you want to go lighter, you're going to need to use 20 volume or more. So that's kind of the general rule of thumb, 2 levels, 20 volume. And then, it's going to give you your best gray coverage. Now, but gray, if you have gray hair, you're not really going to be going lighter. You're going to be depositing color.
Okay. All right. So because gray hair is really clear, right?
Correct.
Doesn't have any.
It doesn't have pigment. It's lost its pigment.
Yeah.
So the third part of that is you can get coverage with 10 volume for gray hair. But So, typically I would use 20 because gray hair is resistant, but you can get coverage and blending with 10 volume.
Okay. Good. All right. How long is the shelf life of the new Raw Curls Deep Conditioner after opening? I can answer that.
Oh, good.
It's about 18 months, and that's it.
Okay.
After that, throw it away. But you'll get about 18 months, especially, and a lot of this is because most people keep it in the shower and whatever, and the heat is an issue. And I'm going to bring this up since this question came up.
The steam or the
the steam and the heat. One of the big things that that's a big mistake that people do all the time, and there was a time in my life that I did this because of where I lived, is people put their hair products in the shower. They'll put them on the windowsill if there's a window in the shower. That's a big no-no. I know it seems like a great shelf. It's not, because you not only have the heat of the shower, but you've got the heat of coming through the window, and windows will normally not keep the UVs out as well. So yeah, not a great idea. On that same note, another big thing that I see that people do is I'll take conditioners that are really, really thick that they use a lot of, and they'll add the shower water to them to thin them up, stretch them out, a little bit, and then they'll stick that bottle up on that windowsill in the sunlight. Especially with like natural and organic products or products that have a lot of natural ingredients. That's a really big no. That's a really big no.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Maybe if you're using Suave or something, it's
Maybe.
okay with all those chemicals in there. No,
right,
I don't know.
right. Maybe, yeah.
But because what happens is it will breed bacteria. So like your shower gets, moldy, mildewy, that's what you'll have, in your hair products. So don't do it.
Like at our house, our main shower is all tile except for the front. That's all glass. And we are militant about keeping that thing clean and sprayed and squeegeed after every time we use it. And we still get it just like yesterday. And we get that thing like really cleaned every 2 weeks, and it's still and it's new, and that shower stall is new.
Showers.
Yeah,
somebody takes.
Yeah, who would that somebody be? It ain't me. It's not me. My 8-minute showers start to finish.
That's what I tell people. I actually always use a cool rinse on my hair because I run out of hot water.
Right.
It's just
because you
happening.
have to.
Right, because
Exactly.
I have to. It's by
Exactly.
default.
Like at our old house, I can't tell you how many times people have come into the garage and seen, they're like, holy God, look at that hot water heater.
It's
I'm
never
like,
enough.
I'm like, and she still
Never.
runs out. It's like monstrous. It's like as tall as I am.
Look at my hair.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It is. It's big.
So,
Anyway.
but you know, I
my
know you
God.
said throw it away, but you're gonna know if your product goes bad. Believe me, it's
Yeah.
you know it starts to number one, get watery or rancid. You would know. So
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Will you announce when the deep conditioner is back in stock? Yeah. You know, my guess is that sometime later this week, we'll have more in stock, and I'm not sure if I
don't overpromise.
No, and that's what
and has
I'm
a
not.
problem of
I'm
overpromising and under-delivering.
I'm not gonna. But what I was going to say is I might, if I can, I might actually offer a sale price on that for like a 24-hour period.
What?
To make up for the, it's not going to be the same as Black Friday, but it'd be, for those, because there were a lot of people trying to buy it, couldn't, because it ran out, and I get it, but just to be fair, to get it into people's hands, I may do that a little bit. I ain't doing the full Black Friday thing. No way, not on that.
Well, no wonder it's
No
sold out. I didn't even know you gave a discount. It's a new product. Why would you do that?
You get people to use it. That's great. It really is. Hey, I want to bring up something since we're here. Before we get into the last couple of questions, I'm gonna bring this up, and it's something that I've noticed. For those of you who are watching on live stream, who are in some of our curly hair groups, like the Curly Hair Q&A group, the Curly Girl Support group, the Diva Curly, the groups that we run for curly hair and curly hair questions and whatever. I'm going to tell you a little bit, just a very short story to kind of back this up, and it made me think of this the other.
I don't think
this
you've
is a
ever
short.
told a short
This
story.
is a short story, but I want to make this point about taking advantage of these groups, and I think I saw a lot of conversations, and I brought this up that I don't think enough people either realize that as far as like you being in the curly groups every day, that you've got someone who's one of the top curly hair specialists and one of the top American board certified master hair colorists who specializes in curly hair, in the world here, available to you every day, literally almost every single day when she's got the time, she's in there. And I see quite, and I'm not quite sure why this is, but I've noticed a lot of times when questions come up and I see Melanie go in there after there's many answers, and Melanie will come in there with an answer from her point of view, somebody who's a behind the chair stylist, somebody who deals with curly hair every day, and she may contradict what a number of people have said. And I watched, and nobody addresses her. And I think to myself, what are you doing, right? And I'm thinking, why are people not seeing it? Is it too late or whatever? And then I remembered a story, and I'm going to tell you the story. And Melanie knows this story. This is a 100% true story. It makes me look really bad, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you this and why it's important. So in my previous life, but before we were married, and then, well, actually a little bit, I think when we were together and then after we were married. But I know a lot of you know that in my previous life, I came from the racing world. And I shared a big shop with a whole bunch of other racers. So there were 8 teams in this big shop. And it was a lot of fun. It was a great time. There were a lot of people in there who were champions. People ended up being Hall of Famers, people that really went on to big things, people I still call friends. And in that shop, I was the last person to, the story I'm going to tell, right?
No.
And I
I
was
have
the
no
last
idea.
I was the last person invited into the shop. The last racer, invited into
Is
the
that
shop.
like being picked last for
Ki
kickball?
kind of, yeah. Especially since I knew most of these people, right?
Oh,
But
poor,
they're my
poor
dear.
Kenny.
They are right, exactly. They are still my dear.
They picked
They
you
are
just last.
because I was the worst guy. I still am, right? Anyway, so long story short, this is a true story. So there was one of these teams was a very well known throughout the country, very well known team at the time, right? Anyway, I would go to the shop because I had some of my trucks parked in the lot where we kept our trailers and stuff. And I would go there sometimes during the day. And we would split a lot of the expenses, the rent. And we had this communal refrigerator. Now you know the story I'm going to tell? We had
No.
this communal refrigerator. And it was filled with like Pepsi and Diet Pepsi and
Mm.
some water, right? And everybody would pitch in. There was like a can on the top, and one of the guys, my friend Greg, would every couple of weeks he would take the money and he'd go and buy Pepsi and Diet Pepsi and whatever, right? Well, I'd be there, and there was this old man, and this old man would walk around the shop. I had no idea who he was. He'd walk around and just kind of look around, and he'd go in that refrigerator all the time, and he'd grab a Diet Pepsi every time I saw him. He'd grab a Diet Pepsi, grab it, close the door, wouldn't put any money in the thing, and you just walk away.
Mm.
And you remember this?
I don't think you ever
I was
told me
getting,
this
I
story.
was getting so pissed, right?
Mm.
I'm getting so pissed. And this is going on and on and on for months, but I'm not saying anything and nobody else is saying anything. And I'm like, what the heck is this? Right? This old man. Well, finally, I one day this happens and it just burns me once this one day, right? And I said to my friend Greg, I'm like, what the hell's with that with that old man? He's drinking all our soda. I never puts any money in. I never see him put in whatever. I said, what was with this? And Craig says to me, he said, do you know who that is? And I said, no. And he told me who it was. And he said, that's Ralph Wilkie. And I'm like, so what? Right. And he's like, he's won the Indy 500 3 times. I'm like, what?
Give him a soda, you cheap ass.
Right. I felt like such an idiot, right? And this is an old man. I mean, this is a guy, like I said, this was from like the 50s and early 60s and whatever. I mean, but yeah. So I literally, it turned out that the connected shop to us, the team that was in there, his kids owned, who were older than I was at the time. And it was so ironic because they were so humble that you'd walk into their shop into their shop there, and there was not one thing in there about any of this, about all the stuff they did, about all the Indy 500s,
Mm.
no pictures, no trophies, nothing. And it was because they had the reason, one of the reasons they were so successful is because they concentrated on the now, not what I did before.
Exactly.
It's what are we doing now.
Exactly.
And it was really interesting. So I started to really watch these guys after that happened, after I embarrassed myself. I started to watch them to see. And it was so interesting because I'd be at a track and they would win and they wouldn't cheer, they wouldn't celebrate, whatever. They just pack their stuff up, back in the trailer and leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, because that wasn't the goal.
Mm-hmm.
It was like championships were the goal. It wasn't racing, whatever. It was really interesting. But anyway, so I introduced myself to the guy, finally, the old man, and we became friendly. He never brought any of that up to me. Never. Never. So my point is that reminded me of that story is watching people like you, and you're not the only one in these groups that have all this knowledge. And I just wonder if it's because people don't realize you're in there and the value of being in there. And I just thought of all the time that I struggled, and I got a 3-time Indy 500 winner walking around me every single day, and all I'm doing is bitching because he's taking my 50-cent sodas, and I could have been asking him for all this help, right? And I never did because I didn't know who he was.
Well, I look at it and I think of another point that, resonates with me because I feel, yeah, like I'm the same way. Like I'm focused on, what I'm doing now and helping people and applying, what I know and learning more. It's like my mentor always taught me, as soon as you think you know everything, you know nothing.
Nothing.
And that
Yeah.
is so true. You can't get arrogant. You can't let that ego get in your way. So it's like you can always learn. I mean, I don't know everything. There's still so much to know. There's still so much that we can share with each other, even as top, curly hair experts. Things are changing, they're evolving.
Yeah. Products
We
evolve. Everything evolves.
yeah,
Yeah.
we started, people go back to the curly girl, book. Well, things have changed. The way that Diva used to teach, cutting has changed. Things have improved. So we have to evolve along with that. So it's just I think I'm the same way. Like, I like to stay focused on the now, and what I can do to improve in the future.
Yeah. So yeah, so I just wanted to point that out. That's a great point. Is you've got some people that, and we may have to take more time in those groups periodically, just because there's such a big cycle of people coming in. I mean, they grow so fast that that maybe we need to, I need to do this, is make some posts and say, okay, here's your list of 7, 8, 9, curly hair experts, color experts in this group, that, if you need to direct something technical to them, here they are. Here are the ones, you
Mm.
know. And that's not, trust me, that's not a bash on
Mm,
anybody else that's in there. But
yeah.
sometimes you need a professional opinion,
Oh,
and
because there's
those
lots of
professionals are in there.
professionals in
That's
there.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
That's
I
what I'm
wouldn't
saying
I
is that
wouldn't
people
pick
don't know.
out certain ones.
No, I'm
There's.
saying pick them all out so people know who they are. I
Oh.
I don't think people know who they are.
Mm,
That's why. That's why I made this connection about you. And I'm like,
mm,
why she and I, it's like some of these things. I mean, I know are the, we have a curly hair salon. I know they're the right answers,
yeah.
and I don't think people realize where those answers are coming from, because you don't know until somebody tells you Ralph Wilkie's walking around.
Yeah. And
You don't know.
I talked about this in the video that we were doing last weekend, and it definitely makes a difference who you're learning from, and even
Mm-hmm.
professionals that aren't
Yep.
really working much in the salon. I mean, I'm doing thousands of people every week, every month, whatever it is. Because I'm working so many hours, I'm applying these principles, I'm doing them daily. So I'm just sharing and teaching what works. If you're happy, then you're happy. That's wonderful. Great. Use the products you're using, do what you're doing. This is a group to help people that are looking for guidance, that are looking for help,
That's what the whole show is here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, there's no reason to bash, otherwise,
Yeah.
because if we've always said, if and I even tell my clients that come in the salon, if you're happy with what you're using and what products you have at home, then continue using them. I mean, if there's a problem and you're not getting the results you want, then let's talk, then we can figure out what to change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh,
I also wanted this kind of
Go ahead.
snowballed into another thing about professionals. I've come to learn that there are, with anything, there's people that could have lots of certifications and education, and maybe unfortunately aren't that great or aren't that talented, because there's been complaints of, oh, I went to somebody that was a curl specialist and I wasn't happy. You
We're
know,
trying to fix that
well, yeah, but
with the Curl Institute
sometimes
project and all that. Yeah.
sometimes you just can't control it completely. It is what it is. Somebody could be, highly educated and just, still struggling. I've seen that with people that have 8 years experience and they can't do a blow dry. And then there's, some that are taking so many different classes and getting so many training, so many different kinds of training, they don't know what to apply. It's like hard to stick with the system. You're doing a little bit of this or a little bit of that. Or they could have come through the Rock Curls Academy and gotten trained by me, but then they're going home and doing, some other program, some other technique. They're not applying the Rock Curls principles. So then the results are not going to be, the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is an issue, and we've had this discussion actually, believe it or not, with I should probably leave them nameless for now,
Yes.
but some pretty
And don't
well
name the
known.
companies and don't
Yeah,
name the
I
stylists.
won't. Some
Yeah.
pretty well known stylists from some very well known companies. We've had discussions with about this,
Yeah, I think they're
and
getting confused.
yeah,
Trying to apply
getting
too many
overload.
different things.
Yeah,
and then it's not really working out.
Yeah, yeah. And we think our our project with the Curl Institute will help a lot with that. And speaking of which, if you are a licensed professional stylist and you're interested in taking a 2-day Raw Curls Academy curly hair training workshop, we have 3 coming up. Actually, one's booked. January, I think we're sold out. We're sold out for January,
Yes.
but we've got March classes, April classes. Yeah, March and April classes, right? Or do I have February and March? I have
You
February
have
and March classes.
January, February, March.
Yeah, January, February, March. So I have February and March classes available, and we're going to release a bunch of other classes shortly, probably in the next week or two. So check out rawcurls.com/academy, and you can book your spot there. It's by far the most comprehensive curly hair training on the planet, and trust me, I've looked. So, and it's the most affordable for what it is.
Yes. And
Yep.
not that Eric or Wes are watching the show, but I just wanted to thank them for working with us last weekend. They were amazing.
Yeah.
They were an awesome camera crew, and
Yep. Yep.
um,
Yep. We talked about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so very easy to work with. And
You guys will find out.
yay.
You guys will find out. Melanie, I'm waiting on my Raw Curls products. Should I clarify before I get the products or wait until I can use your conditioner to deep condition? Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Yeah. So, yes, I would just wait. You might as well. So then you can use the clarifier, and then I go, after I wash with the clarifier, then I wash with the Raw Curls cleanser just to start that, reconditioning
Mm-hmm.
of the hair. So,
Yeah.
and then follow up with the conditioner
Right. Right.
or the mask.
And I'm going to you can give an answer on this next question, and I'm going to give a follow up. And this is actually something we've been working on our Raw Curls website, but it's also going to be part of the Curl Institute site as well. So there'll be 2 places. I want to find someone to cut my daughter's hair, which is very curly, but has very different types of curl. Underneath is dry and very coiled. What do I ask someone? What do I ask? What do I ask someone who should know how to cut curly hair? I think what she's asking is, what do I ask someone so I know that they know how to cut curly hair? I think that's what she's saying.
Mm.
Or do you just look for a curl specialist first?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is to look for someone that has been trained by one of the, known companies that are doing the, curl training. So, the Weedas, the Divas, the Curlisto, the is it Cut It Kinky, Rizo, Raw
Yeah.
Curls. Those are some to name a few, the big names. And, if you can't find that, then, ask questions. Are they cutting it dry, where the curl lives, or, what is their technique? How are they cutting the hair? Who were they trained by, Um, because everyone can claim to, specialize in curls now. And a lot of people are, doing that proclamation, unfortunately. But, make sure they're not using a razor on the hair, that they're just cutting into the hair clean with the scissors, not doing, slide cutting or, anything that's going to texturize the hair. But, it sounds like for sure with her daughter, you're going to want to, the curly cut. I like to do that dry cutting at first because it deals with all those different curl types. I've had a client that had every curl pattern on her head, just one head, from barely wavy to super tight,
That was just
coily curls.
recently, wasn't that?
No, the one I'm thinking of was a while
Oh,
ago. But and that's exactly, why we do the curly cut the way that we do, because, it accommodates all those different curl patterns, and you can see it, so you're not ending up with a disaster where some hair is going to boing up and be really short, and then some hair is going to be long, because it's less curly. And so that's going to be really important.
yeah. Can you do one more question?
One more.
One more question. What are the benefits of an apple cider vinegar rinse? Is it comparable to clarifying?
So an apple cider vinegar rinse is a type of clarifier. It is acidic, so it's going to be more of a gentle clarifier. So it may not be enough if you have like a lot of product buildup, or you need more of a deep clarifying. So it's more of a gentle clarifying, but don't overdo it. People got carried away with that whole apple cider vinegar thing, and it is acidic. So if you do it too often, too much, it's still going to dry out the hair. So, but yes, it can be used as a clarifier. It's natural. That's something that is a benefit if you're into the natural thing. I like to use apple cider vinegar with distilled water, and that can be a nice gentle clarifier. It can, be used. That's something that can help to kill like bacteria on the scalp, or things that would maybe be an issue from not washing the hair as often as you should. So even just some curl types like to spray that in their hair if they have like braids in the hair for a long time. Spray that onto the scalp. But so anyway, those are the benefits and the ups and downs of the apple cider vinegar.
Yeah. Okay.
But sometimes it's just not enough. If you have like that white wax buildup, it's not typically enough to remove all that.
Malibu Sea Undo Goo until Raw Curls comes out with a clarifying shampoo.
The next thing, when is that coming
out? I hate to say this.
Don't say it then.
Because it's long. Oh. It's probably 10 weeks. Sorry.
Okay.
Nah. But I'll keep you posted.
In 2021.
That'll be 2021. It sure will be. All righty. Okay, great. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for episode 201, which is when we'll probably have our champagne and celebrate episode 2000.
Believe it. Can't even believe it.
I can't believe you didn't remember.
Well, how would I remember? I didn't know it was 200. You didn't remind me.
I didn't. Anyway. All right. We'll see you guys next week. See you Instagram, and have a great curly week, you guys.